Alright guys, this video is going to be about dimensional analysis. I figure since we are off school for the next 2 weeks, you might as well get some practice in on some old stuff. So, dimensional analysis is, put simply, how we convert from one type of measurement to another. So let's start with something basic. You have all done this in grade school. It's nothing new for you. But let's say you want to tell me how many inches are in 3 feet. Now, the easy thing to do is you know that there are 12 inches in a foot, so you multiply 3 feet by 12. The way we set this up in dimensional analysis is you draw, and I don't actually have a decent name for what this is. Let's see, I'll make one up while I write this down. That's what it'll be. This cross box that I'm setting up, we'll call that the Dimensional Analysis Machine, or the DAM, the DAM. So to draw the DAM to set this up. Now what you'll see is I start with our original number, 3 feet, and in the workspace, I set it up where conversions are going to happen. So the input is right here, the 3 feet, and you put conversions. The conversion factor and the next set of boxes on the right hand side. So you have 12 inches over 1 foot. What you always want to do is make sure that the same units are opposite each other. So if you have feet on top, you want feet in a conversion section on the bottom. And then whatever you're trying to get into, we're trying to go into inches, that goes on top. So 3 feet is where we start, and inches is where we want to be. So if it's something on top, you multiply it. If it's on the bottom, then it divides. So 3 feet times 12 inches over 1 foot, the feet cancel out, and what you're left with is 3 times 12 inches. Well, that's 36 inches. Let's do another one. Nope, I used up a lot of space on that. Should look at that. I'll just open up a new sheet. Ah. And that's how you break the law. Just kidding, I don't think I broke any laws on that. I hope. Let's try something that is pretty neat, as the kids used to say. We're going to convert... Oh, ugh. That's gross. I hate when it changes my pen. It's so rude. We are going to convert 1,337 inches to feet. So we start with 1,337 inches. And we know there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So because we're trying to get into feet, the 1 foot will go on the top part of the conversion factor, and 12 inches will go on the bottom. So remember to multiply across the top and divide across the bottom. We can cancel units, so inches, because one's on top, one is on the bottom, they will cancel out. If we multiply across the top, we end up still with 1,337, because that times 1 is itself. Then divide that by 12. If you do that, you will end up with 111.42 feet. Oh, I gave myself some more space this time. How nice. Let's just do a line across there and zoom back in. Alright, on this one, let's go from feet to yards. So, we'll convert. Writing a little bit smaller now, you probably understand why. 111.42 feet to yards. Why don't you guys take a minute, give that a shot, and I'll go ahead and wait for you to do that. Alright. Set up the start. 111.42 feet. There are 3 feet in every yard. That'll be my conversion factor. And when you puzzle that out, 111.42 feet times 1 is 111.42. The feet cancel out. And 111.42 divided by 3 is going to give us 37.14 yards. Alright, let's do another practice. I'll open up a new sheet. Let's see, can I jack up these pixels, make it look a little bit nicer? Let's try that. If my computer crashes because of this, I'm gonna cry. Alrighty. Close enough. Let's try going from yards to feet now. I don't like that number. I'll pick a different one. We'll convert. You can't really see that, can you? Come on, help me out. There we go. We'll convert 57.6 yards to feet. So I want you guys to take a minute and go ahead and do that while I start setting this up. 57.6 yards. That's where we start. One yard is equal to 3 feet. There's our conversion factor. And then we do our math. So 57.6 yards times 3 feet is 172.8 divided by 1 stays the same. And our yards cancel out, so we are left with feet. Let's see. Here's a fun conceptual one. I'm going to switch back to black for this. The distance from our planet Earth to the moon excuse me when I do this because y'all know how extra I can be. Distance from the Earth to the moon is about 238,900 miles. That's the moon. No, 238,900 miles. That's a long car trip I would not want to get stuck in. But I am curious, how many feet is that? Take a second and go ahead, solve that. I'll go ahead and start setting it up in my little corner workspace down here, my corner office. So I have 238,900 miles. Conversion factor from miles to feet is going to be 2,580 feet in 1 mile. We know that we multiply across and divide down. So if we multiply across and divide by 1, the 1 mile, 238,900 miles times 2,580 feet divided by 1 mile. Well, the 1 mile cancels out. The miles unit cancels out. And we end up with, here's a big old number for you, 616,362,000 feet. That is a long way. It does make me wonder how many Mr. C's, how many of me, would we need to stack on top of each other to get there? Well, let's say that I am 5'4" on a good day, and so the conversion factor would be 5.33 feet is 1 Mr. C. Go ahead and give that a shot, see what you come up with. Alright, now I actually want to go all the way back to the distance from the Earth to the Moon, go to feet, and then go to Mr. C. Because these types of problems, if you learn to set them up correctly, can make a big problem, a big complex problem, a whole lot easier. So, we know that there are 238,900 miles from the Earth to the Moon. Well, the conversion factor of miles to feet, which is where we need to go first, So for this, we're going to go miles to feet to Mr. Seeds. Conversion factor here is 2,580 feet in 1 mile. And then we can add another conversion factor to our dimensional analysis machine. So add another section to the dam. Now we're going to put feet on the bottom because we want that to cancel out. Planning, got to plan ahead. So 5.3 feet will give us 1 Mr. C. Now we can do all of the plugging in. And I hope you plug this into your calculator. I cannot do this in my head. Not easily. If you were to plug this in, you could legitimately, because that's what I'm going to do, type in 238,900 miles, because it is on top. We're going to multiply that by 2,500. Nope, I'll push the right buttons. 2,580 feet. Hit enter. And then divide that by my height, 5.3, whatever you get. You divide by 5.3. So you go from from the start of the dam to the first conversion to the next conversion. Just go step by step down the line. And what you're going to end up with from this is it will take 115,640,150.1 Mr. C's to reach the moon. Alright, so I hope you got to practice this a little bit. I'll try to be posting videos every day or every other day so that y'all can keep practicing. And I hope y'all make good use of your time. Subscribe for more great science videos.